Good morning, dear students. So, the last session we were talking about that is some basic concepts of chemistry. So, in that we were discussed that is scope and as well as that importance of chemistry, right? So, in that we have to know one more importance of that chemistry. So, let's talk about that particular concept right now. Please be focused on this thing, guys. Okay. So, that is in controlling pollution. In controlling pollution. So by the way, guys, so on reduced syllabus, what are the concepts we have? So those concepts only we are going to that discuss. Okay, so in that we have that the last but not the least importance of that chemistry here. Okay, so in controlling that pollution, obviously that so chemistry has been providing a number of methods for that controlling pollutions. So pollutions means like that air pollutions. Okay, so air pollution and water pollution and soil pollution. Okay, so all these pollution has been that controlled by removing pollutant effectively, guys. Removing pollutant effectively, or by providing safer materials which are eco-friendly, guys, so by doing all this stuff here, so we have to remove the particular means that pollutant which is cause for that pollution in that air and water and as well as that soil. Okay, so in this particular scenario, chemistry has providing here number of methods for that removing of that pollutant which is present in that. So these particular substances like air, water and soil. Okay, so thereby that how do we so reduce that pollutions means so by removing pollutant effectively, or by providing safer materials, or by providing safer materials, guys, so which are eco-friendly. Okay, safer materials and which are eco-friendly. Okay, so this is the stuff, guys, here. Okay, so this is an advantage of here chemistry. Okay, that is a role of chemistry here. Okay, so this is all about here generally, that is importance and as well as that scope of the chemistry. Okay, so next we have a concept that is matter. So in that we have only that physical properties and chemical properties of matter. So we just talk about that particular concept right now. Yes. Matter. So guys, so what is meant by matter here? So as we know that already, okay, so matter is anything which has mass and occupy space is called matter, as we know that, right? Okay, so matter is anything which has mass and occupies space, so that we can call to as in here matter. Either it may be a solid, liquid or a gas. We know that classified matter as these three particular thing. Okay, so but we have to know that here the physical properties and as well as that chemical properties of these matters, guys. Okay, let's talk about that particular concept, right? Okay, let's go with that here very first. So that a classification of matter, means like let us go with that. So very first, that is physical means properties of matter, properties of matter. By the way, we have two types of properties for a individual matter here. Okay, if you can take here, that is very first physical property, and second one, guys, so that is chemical property, guys. So which is chemical property. So most important, we have to know that basic things about this, properties of that, how do we defining that here, physical property and chemical property. So which are the factors which is comes under that physical property and as well as that chemical property. So let us go with these particular concepts which are very easy, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's take up very first, that is physical property, guys. Physical property. Physical property. Okay, so the thing is that physical property, how do we define means that, so if you have any particular substance, okay, so the substance which we can that measure or we can observe without changing in their particular identity and as well as that composition, guys. Okay, so we have to that observe and as well as that measure that property of that particular substance. So but that particular substance doesn't undergo any particular changes, means their particular identity and as well as that composition must be same. Okay, it should not be altered. Okay, once their particular identity and composition altered, means we wouldn't get that proper properties of that particular substance, guys. Okay, so this is the thing we have to know about here. So physical property means that is a property of a substance, so we can observe and we can measure that particular property, but that particular substance doesn't undergo any particular changes. So I means in terms of their identity and as well as their composition, guys. Okay, so such kind of property we can call to be as on here, that is physical property. Okay, which are the example if you can given for that physical property means that if you can take here that that substance color or substance odor, or if you can take their boiling point and melting point and their density, guys. Okay, so these all are comes under that example for that physical property. Okay, let us take up that. Okay, so physical property is nothing but the property of a substance, the property of a substance which can observe and measure without changing their identity and composition. Okay, so that we can call to be as in here physical property of a particular substance, guys. Suppose if you can take an example, that is color, okay, odor, and so that boiling point, melting point, and density. Okay, suppose if you are consider we have that A component, means suppose that particular component undergo any kind of a reaction, means their composition has been changes and to become an here B compound. Okay, so A component has that generally it has their own boiling point and own melting point. When it undergo any chemical change, it changes their identity and as well as that composition, thereby it going to be changed their corresponding melting point and boiling point with respect to this particular compound, guys. So that's why the thing is that, so when we have to talking about that property, means physical property means that particular substance does not undergo any kind of a chemical changes. So when it can, suppose it can undergo chemical changes, means it loses their identity and as well as that composition, we may get that different physical properties. Okay, so the thing is that here supposed to be we are defining here physical property means that substance should not be changes their particular composition and as well as that identity, guys. Okay, so if you can give an example for that physical property, means that is color, odor, boiling point, melting point, and density, and etc., guys. So these all are that example for that here physical property. Okay, so this is a very simple thing. Okay, so next we'll go with that here chemical property. So obviously what actually going to happen in the case of chemical property? So definitely if you are considering one particular substance means that particular substance that can undergo a chemical change guys. So thereby that going to changes their composition and as well as that identity. Okay, so such kind of a property we can call to be as an here chemical property. By the way, the major theme of that chemical property is that here we have to get to know that so the reactivity of the particular substance. So how does that particular compound or how does that particular substance is going to be combined with any other particular substance and what might be the compound it would form there over. Okay, so obviously a particular substance supposed to be react with that any other particular substance means their composition has been changes, their particular identity has been changes. Okay, so such kind of property we can call to be as an here chemical property. Okay, so chemical property is a property of a substance. We can observe and we can measure that particular thing, but that particular substance should undergo a chemical change, thereby their identity and as well as that composition has been changes guys. Okay, so this is that property means like called to be as in here chemical property. So let us go with that chemical property guys. Okay, the property of a substance, the property of a substance which can observe and measure by changing the composition and identity of a substance guys. So by changing the composition identity means that particular substance can undergo a chemical change, thereby their particular identity and as well as that composition has been changes guys. Okay, suppose example, so if you can say that, so chemical property means a particular substance having a tendency to undergo an acidic reaction or a basic reaction or a combustion reaction. Okay, so such kind of a reaction that it could example for that here corresponding chemical properties. Okay, so acidic reaction, basic reaction. Okay, so then combustive means combustion reaction, and so reductive reaction means reductive reaction, and oxidative reaction. So that chemical property which includes all these particular reaction guys. Okay, so this is all about here chemical property and physical property of a matter. If you can take here any particular liquid substance or a solid substance or a gaseous substance, they may show these set of a property here. So chemical and physical property. So one more time I am reminding you guys that so physical property means where substance doesn't undergo so chemical change, thereby there means like identity and as well as that composition would be same that. Okay, but in the case of chemical property, that substance undergone chemical change, thereby their identity and as well as that composition has been changes guys. Okay, so this is the stuff we have to know about here properties of a matter. Please take down guys. Okay, so let's go with that here one of the most interesting concept, that is units and measurements. Yes, please take down. Units and measurements. So what is mean by units first of all? Okay, so what is mean by unit here? So let's take down guys. So it's a very simple definition, it has that. Okay, so unit is a definite magnitude of physical quantity chosen and accepted by all the standard to measure physical quantity, okay. So any physical quantity has to be there. We have any one particular factor to represent that particular physical quantity. Like suppose we have that any particular mass that can be denoted in that kilogram, that can be mentioned in that as a unit kilogram, right? So we have certain set of a factor in order to represent any one certain physical quantity. Okay, so physical quantity is nothing, means that unit is stands for here is a definite magnitude of physical quantity chosen and accepted by here all the standard to measure a physical quantity. Very simple thing. In order to measure any particular physical quantity, we have one particular representative as a one factor we have that there over. So that is in terms of unit we are going to have in here a particular specific representation here. Okay, in order to measure a certain physical quantity. Okay, so let us go with that here. We have that is international system of unit, international system of unit. Okay, international system of unit, which is SI unit, guys. This is SI unit. Okay, so and the thing is that this SI unit, it has 7 base unit, guys. It has 7 base unit. It has 7 base unit. So which are those 7 base unit means? So let's do with that concept. Let's go with that particular concept here. Okay, so let's make a table first of all. Yes, so that 7 base unit would be like that. First of all, physical quantity, okay, name of the unit, and symbol, okay. Physical quantity, name of the unit, and symbol. Okay, physical quantity, first of all we have that mass, okay, length, amount of substance, then luminous intensity, okay, electric current, and temperature, time, okay. So I am going to write these two things here. So time and temperature. Yes, okay. Physical quantity, and so name of the unit, and symbol. Okay, so that is temperature, time. Okay. So for temperature, so name of the unit, what is that? Kelvin, SI unit, that is Kelvin. Okay, and their symbol capital K. Okay, so time is nothing but here second, and symbol is S. Mass, kilogram, kilogram, their symbol is to be here kg. Okay, length, meter, meter, m. So amount of substance, mole, mole. Okay, their symbol mol. Okay, so luminous intensity which is candela, candela, CD. Okay, electric current, ampere, ampere, so A. So this is the 7 base unit we have in case of here, you know that so international system of unit means in terms of SI unit. So we have here so 7 base SI unit, guys. So which are those means? So we have that one will be temperature, time, mass, length, amount of substance, luminous intensity and electric current. So for a temperature we have a SI unit that is Kelvin and their symbol is K, and time second their symbol is S, mass kilogram their symbol is kg, length is meter and m is there. So amount of substance mole and mole is an their particular symbol, and luminous intensity candela, so CD is their particular symbol, electric current is an ampere and symbol is to be here A. Okay, so this is an 7 SI base units, guys. Okay, so next go with that here. So another particular thing that would be here. So one particular statement we have to know about. Okay, so in the case of in SI system there will be large and small magnitude of physical quantity can be expressed by appropriate prefixes, guys. Prefixes. Okay, so that particular prefixes that has to be, you know, we have to know particular thing that suppose if you can take here any particular thing, you know, in that power, suppose we have that multiples and as well as that submultiples, like suppose 10 to the power of 1 or 10 to the power of minus 1, 10 to the power of 1 that is multiple, 10 to the power of minus 1 is submultiple, so 10 to the power of minus 3 is an submultiple. Okay, 10 to the power of 3 is that multiple. So the thing is that means these are, you know, that we are going to express that prefixes in terms of that multiples and as well as that submultiples with an base units, guys. Okay, so let's continue that particular statement here. Okay, so expressed by an appropriate prefixes, so with multiples and submultiples, guys. Submultiples. Okay, with an base unit. Okay, most important, and we have, you know, that once you go through the chart means then it will be very easy to learn, guys. Okay, so very simple. The thing is that here in SI system there will be a large and small magnitude of physical quantity. Suppose if you are expressing here milli, micro, mega. Okay, so these kind of things we are going to express with an appropriate prefixes, guys. Okay, so that, you know, that I am going to, you know, actually wanted to say that, that's it. Okay, so and magnitude of physical quantity can be expressed by appropriate prefixes, so with multiples and as well as the submultiples with an base unit. Okay, so it has also a definite chart as we wrote for that 7 base units. So such kind of chart we have that, it will be very easy. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go with that particular chart, guys. Okay, so please take down this particular, you know, term. Okay, yes. S so prefix multiple, first out. Multiple, prefix, symbol, and submultiple, prefix and symbol. Okay, so first of all, see multiple and submultiple. So submultiple always, you know that in terms of negative, okay, power it must be a negative form. Okay, so let's go with that here very first. 1 2 3 6 9 12 15 16 sorry 18 21 24. Okay, multiple, suppose 10 raised to 1 means that is nothing but here deca. So 10 to the power of 2 hecto, prefix is must be here hecto, and 10 to the power of 3 which is nothing but here kilo, 10 to the power of 6 mega. Okay, 10 to the power of 9 giga. Okay, so 10 to the power of 12 that is tera, 15 peta, 18 exa, 10 to the power of 21 zeta, 24 iota. Okay, their particular symbol for deca da, hecto h, kilo k, mega that is m, okay, giga g, tera t, peta p, hexa e, zeta z, iota y. Okay, so these all you know that particular prefixes for that certain multiples, guys. Okay, so these are you know a small and as well as that large magnitude of physical quantity can be expressed with an appropriate prefixes. So these are you know large magnitude. Okay, when it comes to the submultiples, which are small magnitude of physical quantity. Okay, so 10 to the power of 1, this is a deca. So what we have that here multiples. Okay, these all are you know that large quantity of means large magnitude of physical quantity, guys. Okay, so in order to express this particular thing, we have certain prefixes with their corresponding symbol. Okay, so in such a way that if we are going to expressing here that you know prefixes for submultiples means, so then what kind of prefixes we are going to have for that corresponding multiples, means submultiples. Let us see that here. So this is for multiples as for an here large magnitude of physical quantity, guys. So which is small magnitude of physical quantity. So let us go for that here with that 10 to the power of -1, -2, -3, -6, -9, -12, -15, -18, -21, -24. Okay, -1 which is nothing but here deci. Okay, centi for 10 to the power -2, milli, micro, okay, nano, pico, 15 femto, -18 otto, -21 zepto, -24 yepto. Okay, so their symbol D, C, M, mu, N, P, F, A, Z, Y. So this is their corresponding symbol, guys. Okay, so this is we have to know about here, that is, for expressing that a large and as well as that small magnitude of physical quantity with their appropriate prefixes with their particular multiples and as well as that sub multiples, guys. So we have to know this particular thing here. Okay, let's take a particular table, guys. Okay, so we have these things, guys. Okay, so let's take down. So let's continue the session in that next class. Okay, so till then, thank you one and all. Okay.